Let's talk a little bit about the coronavirus. You're not a medical doctor. Let's not talk about the science around all of this. But what do you make of the market reaction?
So I think what people are most worried about is the economic impact, not so much of the virus itself, but of the measures that are going to be taken and have already been taken to limit further infections. So we've already seen some very serious travel restrictions in China, and that may well escalate further if we continue to see an escalating number of cases.
Is it impossible at this point in time to get an idea of what impact it's going to have on the Chinese economy in the short term? Is it possible, if we were to have an idea of that, then to extrapolate about a policy response?
Well, the S&P did a kind of finger in the air last week, but really depends on how much further we go from here in measures. And based on what we've seen so far, there will be some impact. Obviously, it won't be a huge material impact. I think the concern is that we've already seen a higher number of cases than SARS. And so how much more will we see in terms of restriction of travel? Not just restriction of travel by the authorities, but also consumers, households and so on, choosing to stay at home, choosing not to go out, not to go to restaurants, not to go to crowded places.
Service sector economy now.
Absolutely.
Elsa, it's making for an interesting time in local currency EM. Are you seeing any opportunities?
So it's not been too much of a currency story so far. In fact, that's quite striking that, having had a little bit of risk on, risk off on Monday, FX markets have been relatively quiet this week. Where I think there may be trades to watch is we've already seen some impact on Chinese jet fuel demand. Our oil team actually do a fantastic job tracking that real time and seeing a little bit of the impact coming through in terms of the petrocurrencies. That would be the one to watch in terms of where that impact, the economic impact, might show up in FX space.